Welcome to our Bible study today. We are glad to meet you through online, and we have been praying for you wherever you are, and we are trusting God is taking care of you. We are in a very difficult time, and the church has been put to tests, but we believe our God is on our side, and we shall continue to pray that this pandemic shall come to an end. In our Bible study, we have been looking at the journey towards divine increase. And our reading book has been Genesis chapter number 12, where we started in the first day, and we realized that this was a turning point in the book of Genesis, because the chapter starts with a narrow focus, one particular couple of Abraham and Sarah. And the Lord chose this couple, and they became a good example of our faith. We did look at the first day, some few lessons that I would like to recap. The first thing that we saw is that divine increase is by grace. Pure grace, which is given for no apparent reason to this couple. And that requires us to have a good relationship with God. Secondly, we found that divine increase requires us to move from what is familiar. The Lord spoke to Abraham, and he said to him, "Leave your own country and go to the place that I shall show you." Abraham obeyed, and 4 promises were made by God. That signifies that if we obey God, these are kinds of blessings that shall follow us. He said, there will be a promise of greatness. That's what we say in a great nation. He says, you shall be a father of a great nation. There was also the promise of prosperity, because the Lord said, I will bless you. There was also the promise of supernatural influence, because he said, I will make thy name great. There was also the promise of empowerment, because he said, I shall make you a blessing. And therefore, when we obey God to live what is familiar and to walk with him, we shall see his goodness in our lives. Number 3, we also say divine increase requires us to trust God. Simply trusting God when we don't understand what is God is up to. That's what happened to Abraham. Before, we found that divine increase is action-oriented. And that's what the Bible tells us in the book of Hebrews chapter number 11, verse number 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. What attracts God's attention is our faith. The second day, we said we need to desire to be enlarged. The book of Isaiah, chapter number 54, verse 1 to 5. We need to desire to be enlarged, our boundaries to be enlarged, if we are expecting any increase in our life. We need to make room for God. We need to allow God to increase our capacity. We need to allow God to give us our breakthrough and to fulfill our destiny. There are various things that we looked at that we should do. 1, as I have said, we need to have a desire to be enlarged. Jabez, in 1 Chronicles chapter number 4, verse number 10, he cried to God, "Oh God, bless me and enlarge my territory." If you want and you desire increase, you should have that desire within you that will propel you in prayer, that God may enlarge your boundaries. God may enlarge your territory. He also said, number 2, you need to do something you have never done. Enlarge your capacity for increase by believing something you previously thought it is impossible. When Abraham was told to leave, he did not argue with God. He did not know where he is going, but he trusted God. He did something he has never done before because he had a relationship with God. We also need to have a positive attitude and work with people who have pure, powerful, and positive attitude. Some people who will provoke our thinking and direct our path to the things of righteousness. And that's why we saw in the 3rd day, when you looked at Genesis chapter number 13, we see Abraham separating with Lot. Because he realized that if they continue together, there will be conflict. He did not disconnect himself from Lot, but he valued Lot so much. But sometimes if we want to have increase, we should avoid unnecessary conflict. I like the way Abraham looked at it and he told Lot, we cannot continue quarreling because we are brothers. He also told him, our huntsmen should not continue quarreling because if we quarrel, we will not be able to fulfill our destiny. And therefore we decided that from today we need to separate. When we separate, we see a great lesson from this particular attitude that Abraham had. He decided to delight himself in the Lord. He knew his increase is divine. He doesn't have to work for it. He just needs to obey the word of God. And he told Lot, choose where you want to go. And Lot found that the valley of Jordan was the best place to go. And Abraham said, fine, take it. Abraham did not know what God is going to do, but immediately allowed Lot to leave. The Bible tells us that God took him to a higher ground, and he was able to show him what was before him, the great blessing that he had prepared for him. If you want an increase today, put your faith in God. Put your faith in the Word of God. The Bible tells us in Mark chapter number 11, verse 24, that whatever we pray, let us believe God shall do it. And indeed, He shall exactly do as our prayer and our desires are. We need to seek the Lord wholeheartedly if we need an increase in our life. Today, I would like us to look at Genesis chapter number 14. And Genesis chapter number 14 start with a fight between two groups of kings. The Bible tells us the king of Sodom and the king of Gomorrah, the king of Andaman, the king of Seboim, and the king of Bela. All of them as allies marched up and drove their battle lines to the valley of Siddim. This is another alliance of kings. The king of Kedoroma, the king of Elam, the Trador king of Goim, Alaphel king of Shinar, and Ariok king of Elazar. 4 kings. These 2 groups of kings started to fight together. And when they fought, the Bible tells us the king of Kedoroma and the allies overpowered the other kings. And therefore Sodom and Gomorrah, where Lot was actually taken by the 4 kings. At that particular time, Lot was taken together with his possession by the king of Githurai and the allies. But when one messenger realized that Lot has been taken by these kings, he went to tell Abraham about this issue. And therefore today I want to talk about the value of relationship. Dhamana ya uhusiano. The value of relationship. In chapter number 13, we see Lot, the nephew of Abraham, separating with him. But in this particular chapter number 14, we see Abraham still caring, still concerned about his nephew Lot. That tells us something. That if we want to have an increase in our life, we need to value relationship. What are some of the evidence that shows that we value relationship? Number one is the care we extend to our brethren, especially those we are related by blood. We are born together. Others we are related through marriage. Others we are related through our faith. The Bible tells us we are of one body, the body of Christ. We are related through the faith we have in Christ Jesus. When we value our brethren, those who are related together, it pleases God. Abraham was related to his nephew, Lot. And when he heard that he has been taken by the enemies, he decided to take 318 trained men to go and rescue Lot, who was his nephew. A great concern. He loved Lot to an extent that he could fight for him. Brethren, wherever you are, today we are in a hard time when all of us, we are scared of what is likely to happen to us. But if we value each other, we should fight for each other. We should pray for each other. Whatever you can do to protect your brother, do it. The government have told us to wash our hands. That's a good gesture. If you're affected, don't infect another person. Please, self-quarantine. That shows that you are concerned about other brethren. That's what it means to fight for each other. But more importantly, as brethren in Christ, we need to pray for each other. The Bible tells us in the book of 1 Timothy chapter number 5 verse number 8, the Bible says, anyone who does not provide for their relatives, especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. There are people who are our brothers and sisters. They are in need. We need to take care of them. The Bible says we need to take care of our relatives. Not only the people who are close to us, our immediate family. The Bible tells us to be concerned about other relatives. When you extend your hand of help to a relative, it shows that you value relationship. Abraham took time to fight for his nephew. He released 318 trained men of his household to go and rescue his nephew Lot. Today, I want to beseech you, brethren, we need to take care of each other. Because That is what God has called us to do. When God sees that you value others, you are concerned about others, He is able to show His favor upon your life. That is one of the things that can give us a divine increase in our lives. Number 2, after fighting, Abraham was able to get a lot from that fight. He got a plunder of good things after defeating those particular kings. And the Bible says when he came back, he met with Melchizedek, king of Salem, who brought to him bread and wine. It's the same thing that we do today. We have bread and wine as the table of the Lord. The king of Salem, who is the king of Jerusalem, Melchizedek, as he will come back, Abraham, from the fight, he gave him bread and wine. And the Bible says after that, he blessed Abraham. And he said, "Blessed be Abraham by the God Most High, Creator of heaven and earth. And praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand." If we value our relationship with God, we need to pay our tithes. Abraham gave Melchizedek a tenth of everything that he had. He did that as an act of worship. Melchizedek, as the Bible tells us in the book of Hebrews chapter number 7, if you read the book of Hebrews chapter number 7, verse 4 to even from verse number 1 to 7. Melchizedek is a type of Christ because it has a unique identity. Indeed, it has been said he pre-incarnate as Christ. And therefore, Abraham honored Melchizedek because he's superior than him. He gave a tenth of everything. But there's something that I want you to note in this particular discussion and this Bible study today. If you look at verse number 21, the king of Sodom wanted to give more to Abraham. And he said, this is verse number 21, the king of Sodom said to Abraham, "Give me the people and keep the goods for yourself." But Abraham said to the king of Sodom, "I have raised my heart to the Lord God Most High, Creator of heaven and earth, and I have taken an oath that I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread, not or the thorn of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say, I made Abraham rich." Abraham refused the kind of goodies that the king of Sodom and Gomorrah was giving to him. Brethren, in our journey for increase, divine increase, we need to refuse any other form of increase which is offered with inferior motive. Abraham refused to take the proceeds of corruption, because what was being offered by the king of Sodom and Gomorrah was being offered with an inferior motive. But he decided to give a tenth of everything to Melchizedek because he valued his relationship with God. Brethren, we need to know that God examined the heart of the giver. Malachi chapter number 3, verse number 3 to 4. The Bible says, "He will sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver. He will purify the Levites and refine them like gold and silver.
That the Lord will have men who will bring offering in righteousness, and the offering of Judah and Jerusalem will be acceptable to the Lord, as in days gone by, as in former years. Even when we give our tithes, God looks at our heart, the motive of our giving. And God is saying in this particular chapter of Malachi that He is a God who refines and purifies silver. He refines gold and silver because silver and gold belong to Him. And He is looking for men who bring offering in righteousness. We are priests. We receive your tithes and offering. But let me tell you, God looks at the heart of the giver. He is saying you need to return to Him in righteousness. If you read Malachi chapter number 3, verse 7 to 10, God is crying to the children of Israel and He is saying, return to me. Return to me. And you are asking, how shall we return to you? And He says, return to me in time and offering. Why? Because since the time of your forefathers, you have been loving me. If you value your relationship with God, you should be able to keep your tithes and offering in purity. God loves a cheerful giver. As priests, we should not take any other person which is not of righteousness. We should receive in the house of God with purity the tithes and offering of His people, who offer their cheerful heart. I'd like you at this particular time, because I may not have a lot of time to speak to you, but in this Bible study, as we look at the book of Genesis, chapter number 14, which is our book today, I would like you and your family to ask yourself, what are the evidence that should we show in our life as Christians that we value relationship? Today we have just looked at two. We should value our relationship with our brethren. Two, we should value our relationship with God. And some of the things that shows that we value relationship with our God, according to this particular scripture, is by paying our full tithe. God bless you as you continue discussing with your family members this scripture of Genesis chapter number 14. I look forward to our next Bible study, where I shall talk about Genesis chapter number 15, where God made a covenant with Abraham. Remember, we are children of the covenant. We are descendants of Abraham. And we shall look deeply how we shall walk our journeys of increase, having and maintaining our covenant with God. God bless you, God keep you, and may His face shine upon you.